Day 6. I slept like a rock star last night. I don't even know what happened. I had my book on my chest. I dimmed the lights. Milo got all cozy by my feet, and it was like 7:30, and I was out. And I woke up at like 1, and I literally got up, had some water, went to the restroom, and that was that, you guys. It was literally like my body was just a self-driven resting machine last night, and it's obviously what I needed. So today I'm doing a little bit of follow-up because people are starting to ask questions, which is cool, about the 33-day fast. So I thought I would take you on a little bit of my routine, because I talked about how I don't like to put anything with um, parabens and whatnot on my skin. So I thought I would talk a little bit about that and all the things I do to care for myself during such an extended fast. I lean towards being as organic and natural as I can with all of my products. I haven't always been this way. This started after I got all the autoimmune diseases and realized our skin is the largest organ of our body. So it makes absolute sense if we're putting in purifications on our skin, that's absorbing into our bloodstreams. And I started taking that really seriously as I was healing myself. So I'm pretty natural in what I use on my skin, in my hair. Yes, of course, I have coloring in my hair. I'm aware of that. And yes, I like my lashes done. So I am not the person who's sitting here telling you what to do. I'm sharing with you what I do, what feels good in my body. And again, for me, it's less about how I look, although I appreciate looking nice. It's more about how I feel. So a little bit about what I use on my skin. Mostly I'm using all natural peptide formulas, and I use frankincense oil. These are my go-tos. And I love the smell of frankincense. I mean, obviously, this has been around since the beginning of time. And I blend it with some really natural lotion, or what do they call them? You can use an oil as a mixer to your oils so that it's not so strong on your skin. But frankincense is a very strong oil, but it's so good for us. So I mix it. You'll see in my frankincense oil, there's actually a lotion in there because I don't like to waste any. So when my bottle gets empty, I'll save the bottle and put my actual safe paraben-free lotions in there, and it'll keep absorbing from the frankincense. And then you get to extend as much as you can, because frankincense is not a cheap oil, but it is very, very worth it using it on your skin. So you'll see right now I have obviously no makeup on. I just washed my face really good, exfoliated, and I had done micro needling, as I mentioned recently, pretty recent, about 4 weeks ago. So I'm flaking a little bit from that. It's the first time I've ever had it done at the spa where I work, and it actually is pretty incredible on the crepe skin and the areas where I'm trying to heal stuff still. My thyroid neck used to be so ridiculous. It was like a football player's. It was so big. So all that loose skin, now that all that inflammation is gone in my thyroid's well, has had to reabsorb. And you get that chicken neck anyway with age. And so I'm just always doing natural things. One of the things that's really important to me as I'm doing my daily care is how I talk to my body. The old me used to look in the mirror and say, oh, these big bags, or oh, this crepe skin. And I still hear that come up. I'm not perfect, and I have those days where I don't appreciate the way I look, and I have to remind myself how far I've come. But it's also really important to love yourself through this journey and have really good dialogues with yourself. If you can't find something you love about yourself to say in that moment, find something you do love about yourself to say, and start there, because it's really important. how you talk to your body, especially when you're fasting and you're really toxing the body. You're detoxing it, but you're also, you're creating patterns in your body that might be reacting and feeling a little stressed the first few days. So you want to not be part of the toxic problem. You want to be part of the equation. I also, I'll talk about hair care next, but yesterday I had mentioned in my initial release of what I take supplement wise. So these are the grass-fed. I'll post in the description what they are if they're not coming clearly into the camera. But I love the Ancestral Supplements brand. This is grass-fed beef liver. It's pasture raised in New Zealand, and it's hormone, pesticide, and GMO free, and it has no fillers or filters. It's on the costly side, but it's worth it because everything you need from a supplement perspective is in this liver. And you don't have to take a bazillion supplements like nutritionists will try to sell you. Everything is in that. It's emphatically the most important piece of my fast, without question, next to my electrolytes. So magnesium and potassium, these guys have to be on board. What's really cool about potassium is you will not get the leg cramps. You will not get a lot of the things people report during fasting if you do this equation correctly. You will not wake up with those cramps in your toes or that feeling like you're getting gout in your joints. That is a lack of potassium. Now you have to be careful because you can overtake potassium and you can actually make it dangerous for your body as well. So you want to use this the way it's prescribed. And then magnesium, super critical. Also a highly important mineral that we lose when we're fasting. And a really cool thing about this for females specifically is if you have horrible menstruation cycles, cramping, clotting, all that yucky stuff, sorry guys, this makes it go away. If you have irritable bowel syndrome or you have a problem with constipation, this helps with that. So I take it all the time, even when I'm not fasting. Potassium and magnesium are critical trace minerals that our body needs. Another thing that I keep on hand always is charcoal caps. These are activated charcoal capsules. Now, when you're fasting, your body is going through that detoxification stage. So you want to support it as much as possible. So even though I'm not eating, when I drink my coffee, I have these charcoal caps. These help to move the toxins from the night before out of the body when you go to have your BMs. Sorry for too much information, but as I mentioned yesterday, I am one of those rare fasters who has bowel movements for my whole 33 days of fasting. They may not be big and they may be more liquid than anything. Again, sorry for TMI, but I want to be very clear. This helps. Everything that's coming out of your body is toxins. Waste comes out the way waste needs to. So fat, when you're breaking down fat, that moves through your BM process. So I don't get upset that I'm still having those all the way through the 33 days because it's a sign that my body is breaking down the fats. It's eliminating the toxins. That waste is good stuff. I look forward to it. But you cannot trust a fasting fart. Again, sorry for TMI, but I've said it a million times. Typically, it's not going to be just air. And so unless you want to walk around with an adult diaper, it's better to just always be a little cautious about what you're doing in that arena. So on to hair. So I am naturally curly. A lot of people don't know this because I straighten my hair, but I am a naturally curly haired girl, almost to the point of being Shirley Temple. If you've ever seen my son's hair when it's long and wavy and crazy, my curls are twice that. He got it from me. I'm part Brazilian and part Irish. So I have thicker, coarser, almost African American textured hair when it's curly. but when I straighten it, it's baby fine and soft and smooth. But I can dry out really fast if I over shampoo, because our scalp is always producing really good oils and nutrients. And I want to move those from my scalp into the roots of my hair, up into the follicle, and all the way through. So, how I do that, I have this amazing brush by Denman. And this brush is made just like, remember in the olden times when mothers used to say, sit and stroke your hair 100 times. And I always thought that was so funny, but it's true. This particular brush has bristles that are intended to move the fantastic natural oils down through the hair. Sorry, I just realized my mirror was making my recording go kind of funny with the zooming, but I don't care. You're getting the gist of what I'm saying here. When I get up in the morning, I traditionally do not wash my hair every day. I have really amazing hair that can go, this might sound gross, but up to a week without washing it. Why? Rosemary oil. These are two of my amazing products that I only use in my hair. This is from Trader Joe's. I swear by it. It's called hair serum. It's only shea butter and coconut oil. And it adds shine, it removes frizz, and it's so good for your scalp. And then this is natural rosemary, 100% pure natural rosemary oil. So what I do, and this is my routine, is I have my brush, which even if men are losing your hair, this is amazing, you guys. This is not just for women. This Denman brush helps restore the collagen, restore all of the roots and the cells and the hair follicles. And if you're receding, it's going to help to promote hair growth. So you'll see I have always got little babies kind of coming in. And like I said, I do color my hair still, but I try to do it not as often. And I'm trying to let my natural grays come in, support my hair as it's growing. Fasting sometimes will stress the hair out and you'll lose a bunch of hair because it's hormonally related. Don't worry, it'll come back. So I take a little bit of the Trader Joe's, about the size of a dime, and then I get my rosemary oil and I just drop that right into it, get it good and emulsified in my hands. This is so good for your skin. And oh my gosh, if you don't love the smell of rosemary, you are missing out. So I will use this all over my skin, but I'll start with my scalp. I'll do a nice heating of the oil in my hands, get it nice and emulsified. And I start along the edges of my hair where those baby hairs are trying to grow in to support them. And I go all the way around my scalp and I move it up into the scalp to heal. Because your scalp, again, that skin is the largest organ in your body. If you're not supporting it, you're not going to get growth. You're not going to get healing. You're not going to get any of those things. And if you're using traditional shampoos full of all that stuff, that is seeping into your body, guys. I'm not trying to be chunky granola here, but I am kind of chunky granola these days. It's crazy what we put in our bodies, and we spend so much money on products that we don't even need. If you go back to the caveman times, I mean, oh my gosh, they used everything natural from plants and from essential oils and from the ground and the roots and the nuts and the seeds. And I'm just all about getting back to that. When I do wash my hair, which is about once a week, yes, I use a purple shampoo to keep my coloring, but then I do a nice conditioning like this afterwards to promote and support my hair. And as the gray comes in and I slowly stop coloring it and let the gray just take over and do what it naturally does, there won't be a need. There won't be a need for purple shampoo. Now, you'll see I still have quite a bit on my hands. Go into your skin with that. You know, use all of it. It's so good for you. I put it all over, especially where my tattoo is, where I tend to get more dry. I will get frankincense and rosemary and, and the coconut oil going, and I will just emulsify all of my skin really, really well. And I'll dry brushing and lymphatic brushing. I'll do that in another video because I didn't do that this morning. But that's another routine that I do to keep my skin healthy and well. And it's not perfect, but it's good and it's healthy and it thanks me and it feels better. And I drink the water and I flush the toxins and I just keep loving myself through the fast. This is what it's all about, you guys. Self-love, self-care, maintaining practices that are sustainable. You see, I just did all of that in a matter of a few minutes. And once my face calms down from all of this, if I decide to put a little tinted SPF on, I can, maybe a little brow, a little lip gloss, and I'm good to go. And that's as natural as I prefer to be. Sometimes I'll get more made up, but I'm not all about tons and tons of makeup, but it's fun to play with. It's fun to dabble with. Now, somebody asked me why I drink coffee when I do this extended fast, so I wanted to address that as well. Coffee is actually good for us in smaller quantities. They've proven this, and I'll put the studies down in the description of this. But because when I do feast in between my fasting stages, I am more what I consider to be carnivore keto, and I live more of that lifestyle. So one coffee, sometimes two for me a day, is about as much as I'll have. And when I'm not doing an extended fast, I'll do a fat coffee where I add MCT oil and all of those fancy things. But when I'm doing an extended fast like this, I stick to black coffee only, water, and teas. And with my teas, I stay away from anything fruity or sweet because that causes the body to start to crave again. And I like to feel satiated. I don't want to walk around feeling grumbly and grumpy like I'm hungry. So I'll stick with the black teas or the green teas and sparkling mineral water, which is full of electrolytes. Those are my go-tos, and that's it. And yes, there'll be moments where the body's grumbling, and then I'll get up, I'll have some more water, I'll have some pink salt, and then I'll go take a walk, or I'll read a book, or I'll do a meditation. I'll do something to get my mind off of it. And within a few minutes, that hunger wave has left. It just goes away naturally. It's pretty darned cool how our bodies self-sustain, self-heal, and regulate. And when you do begin to build this practice up and you start to lose weight and have all of the benefits of, getting rid of skin tags and moles and scars and just things you're trying to heal in your body. One of the things I'm working on is my night vision still. I have horrible night blindness, which was back when they thought I had the Lyme disease. And it's gotten much better. But I'm still, each time I do these deep fasts, I notice it gets a little better each time. So I want to keep supporting that with my eyes, which is a big reason why I take these. And they do help, and it is improving. And my vision actually improved when I got my glasses this year, which is evidence. So everything that I'm doing is evidence through labs. So I always recommend you do your baseline blood labs. I don't do it anymore, but I did when I started the journey. I now trust my body. I know if something's off. I immediately know if I need a little more electrolyte or something else is going on. But as I said, with this regimen of supplements that I take, which is minimal, as you can see, my body is fully supported in everything it needs. The circadian rhythm levels out. Homeostasis, the body starts to level out. I still lose weight when I do these, but that's not the goal. I am always looking for my body composition to improve and my core to get better. Those are the areas I still work on. Areas that I have loose skin from the weight loss tend to be around my upper arms here, my stomach where I had my hysterectomy and I have a scar, and a little bit on my legs, but not much. My legs have actually muscled up really well, as have my arms. My upper back, though, is a really interesting place, and I tend to carry some back fat there. So we're all different. We're all different in how we are built. I tend to have an upper build here. I inherited that from my mother. And if I wasn't so terrified of having a breast reduction surgery because it's extremely painful, I would have had it years ago, because I tend to hunch over, even though I've tried everything and I'm constantly doing exercises to improve my posture. It is a natural byproduct of carrying around, about 16 pounds of extra weight up here. And it's just something that I live with. And sometimes my back will go out, and I tend to have some back issues. So I try to strengthen it through core training. Um, I think that's all I was going to cover today from questions people have asked. But if you think of other things, I'm going to try and keep doing these as I continue my 33 days. Hopefully you're learning stuff, and I'll start to add what's going on in my body at each level. Right now, I'm fully into autophagy, meaning that all of the dead cells are falling away and the healthy repurposed cells are trying to come in. As you can see, I'm not really dry, like my lips aren't parched. I'm getting plenty of hydration. I'm not starving. I feel satiated, and I'm sleeping like a rock star, having beautiful mental clarity, and the euphoria is kicking in. And I love the fasting euphoria. It's like so addictive for me. So I hope this helps. I enjoy doing them because I feel like, I don't know, I learn something new every time I do these fasts. And every time I share that I'm doing these fasts, I learn something new. So don't be afraid to ask questions, but just know that if it's something I've already covered, I'm just going to refer you back to the video. If it's something new, I might put it in the next snippet in Whimsy and address it. So I hope it helps. Happy fasting for those of you following along.